Hey Nurture fans, it's Crystal here from Nurture in Blackfalds, Alberta. This is our night 8 for Wine and Beauty, and I have my husband here with me tonight, Craig.
Hello.
And he's going to be joining us for everything you need to know about men's hair care, and any questions you have, don't hesitate to ask. Now tonight's probably going to be short and sweet. We have to get our camera in the right spot here. Hopefully everybody can hear. So I would like to talk firstly about men's hair care. A lot of the time men have either scalp issues, dry flaky scalp, their choice of shampoo and conditioner might not be the best choice in my mind or in their wives' mind. Men often have preferences of cheap shampoo like Perk Plus or Head and Shoulders. So I definitely recommend something that is high-end, maybe a clarifying shampoo, or something like the Awaken line that we do carry here. It's great for guys. My husband does use this, right, Craig? And how do you find it feels on your scalp? Does it feel refreshing?
Yes, very refreshing.
And does it feel cool and fresh? Yeah. When you get it in your eyes?
I like the Basu.
He likes the Basu. Now, for him, he's got very coarse hair, so the Awaken helps with his scalp. It does help with the dry scalp and the itching, but the Basu helps keep it nice and soft and gives it some shine because he's got very coarse hair. Another important thing to mention with the Awaken line, especially for men, if you wear hats, if you wear a helmet or a hard hat, or if you're just a ball hat wearer in general, there is a hormone that is excreted in men's sweat called DHT. And DHT actually sits on the scalp, and a lot of men have baldness in the areas that are covered with their helmet or their hat. And it's because of the hormone that sits on the scalp, and if it's not removed, it can cause hair loss. So the Awaken line that we do carry here at Nurture, shampoo and conditioner, retail size, as well as the scalp therapy treatments, this line will remove the DHT hormone. So if you're finding that hubby is losing hair or receding around his hairline, or if you find him thinning in the back, or if you find his hair just getting thin in general and maybe starting to thin out and fall out, that would be my first recommendation to try at home. Obviously you can come in for a consultation and we will see if we can do any assessments here in the salon. A lot of times we can figure out things before it has to go to a dermatologist or a special doctor. So come in and see what we can do for you. Consultations are free. But I would say that the majority of men complain most about hair loss. What can I do about it? A lot of times genetics do play a big part in how your hair grows, when it falls out, how old you are, white hair, same idea. But the Awaken line is a really great option for just good overall scalp health, no dry scalp, no itching, and it will prevent hair loss. It will not ensure that your hair grows back, but it could possibly prevent it from getting any worse. Now, men typically complain when we're talking haircuts that the sides of their head get puffy when their hair is growing out. So in this vicinity here. So I'm not sure if hubbies at home can agree with that. Now when you're talking to your stylist, guys, in the salon, you might want to ask them to do a military clipper cut on you on the sides. So even for styling purposes, guys, you've got a ridge here all the way across your head. It's called your parietal ridge. I've referred to this before. And if men are doing nothing with their hair and it's just dried, fluff dried with a towel and air dried with no product, this especially is going to get puffy, and it's because there's a ridge here. If I hold a comb, I'm going to use a pen because that's what I have, straight on the head, turn a little bit, there's space here, and that's because your ridge runs along this way. If you're styling your hair and you push your hair and make it go with the shape of your head, it will look tighter, it won't look as puffy, and it will probably grow out better too. Now for your haircuts, like I said, a lot of the typical men's styles, the stylist will clipper only up to here, and then she'll blend the rest. So if any of you guys at home that are watching, if you wanted to comment that, you know, this is very much a troublesome area, you'll want to tell your stylist to cut higher and blend better. It will also make styling easier for you too. Now when it comes to products, a lot of guys use nothing. I think that most women would say it's fair to say they would prefer their better half to actually have a good looking hairdo. So a really good tip would be to ensure that your sides are clean, the back is clean, and that you leave a little bit of extra length through the top so that you can actually look like you have a style. Now Craig has a tendency to tell me to do a 2 on the sides, a 2 in the back, and a finger length on the top. But a finger length on the top doesn't really make much of a style for him, especially if we're going out. The more length that the guys can leave on the top with their haircuts, the more variation of a cut that you can play with. So you can have a faux hawk if you've got some length. You can brush it off to the side if you've got some length. You can comb it over smooth and put it from one side to the other if you have some length. If you've got even more length, guys can start pushing it back, like a lot of the really cool styles right now, but they're not for everybody. When you come in and you talk with your stylist about certain styles, especially really trendy styles, it's a really good idea to understand, or hopefully they're going to tell you, that you're going to have to use product and you're going to have to blow dry your hair. Now something like a faux hawk or something that's just a little messed up on the top, you don't really need to do a whole lot with that when it comes to heat styling, but you need to make sure that it's thin enough so that it will have some movement and it will do and be manipulated to what you want. But you also need to make sure that you have the right product. So Dippity-Doo does not work. He likes Dippity-Doo because his hair is so thick and it works. And there's a lot of guys that I have as well as guests that also like Dippity-Doo because it works and it's from their era and it's cheap, so they use it. So I'm going to talk to you about a couple of my favorite men's products. Aside from the Awaken line, again, good scalp health will promote good healthy scalp exfoliation of the scalp and removing the DHT. So if you're one who's very, very, I don't want to lose any hair, or maybe I'm starting and you want to make sure you prevent any more loss, come in and talk to us about the Awaken line. We can get them in liters, so wifey and hubby can both use them as well. That's what we do. So wet styling for guys is probably the easiest, depending on what hair type you have. If you've got finer hair and it's very thin, most guys would want to use some sort of a texture product like a mud, and it's going to give you a little bit more volume, a little bit more shape, and a little bit of texture as well in your style. So a mud is usually a creamy based substance, and you don't need a lot, a little sticky, not too bad, and it can go in wet or dry. Now I'm going to put this in Craig's hair dry today just for the sake of keeping it easy and quick, because most guys like easy and quick. Product's going to go in through the top. You're going to want to make sure that you get it in everywhere, not just where you think you need it, because you do need an overall good style here. If you use a mud is going to have quite a bit of hold compared to, let's say, a wax. And hey, Jocelyn. Say hi, Jocelyn.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Now, gels typically do have the most hold, but you don't really want a really stiff, shiny, sticky hairdo. You want something that looks really natural. And these days, natural is very important, especially at nurture. So it'll give you enough hold so that you can manipulate it, put it into a faux hawk. I know you guys probably can't see a whole lot because of the darkness behind us. But especially mud in damp hair, blow dried, it gives you a really nice texture. It gives you just a little bit of softness and a little bit of hold. So the men's mud from Surface is really great for a lot of versatile styles. And it's also really good for thick hair and fine hair. So this is one of the products that we carry in the salon at all times because it is good for almost every style. It's even good for lady styles. It smells like sandalwood and bamboo. Sandalwood and bamboo. Sandalwood and bamboo. Smells earthy, but there is sandalwood and bamboo in this. Secondly, I'd like to talk about shaping wax. Shaping wax is really great for a lot of people as well. It adds a little bit more of that kind of slick, greasy look, which is very trendy these days. But it's not for everybody, so this is not for someone with very fine hair. It's not for someone with thin hair, and it's not for someone who doesn't want to wash their hair every day. It's more or less for someone with a little bit more thick or a little coarse or even a little curly. So typically for the amount of product, especially with professional lines, I always just dig my nail in and that's all I use for almost everybody. If you spend the money on a little bit more of a professional product line, guys, it's going to last you a long time. It's not going to be every time you go to the grocery store, you're getting another bottle of whatever. Something important too is usually make sure you warm up your products in between your palms. It will spread a lot easier. And I think guys are very careful with their hair. I know Matt, I'm going to use you an example. If you're watching, you might know that I'm talking about you, but he always complains he can never do it like me. But I mean, your head is right in front of my face. It's a little different when you're trying to do it yourself in the washroom. But layering products does give you a really nice look, and the little bit more product that's in there, I mean, you can wash it out, right? You're a guy. It's quick and easy. But a little bit of shine, a little bit of texture, and you do have to get it all through or it just doesn't look the same. Now, when you're applying your product at home, for guys who may be halfway involved in, hey Michelle, I'm in your station tonight. For those of you who are in between your haircut and you got to go out with a girlfriend or you got to go out with a wife and you're going out for dinner and your hair's just kind of bushy, to say the least, get some product in your hands, something like the shaving wax that I just used, manipulate it in between your palms, and when you apply your product, you want to move it with the same direction that this bone or this ridge is, so it's flat. As soon as a lot of guys will do this because they want it to lay down, and they want their hair to lay down. They might even comb it, but because there's a ridge, it will pop back up. So the more you can move it around and shape it and mold it around the sides of the head, the better it will lay. So it's really good to remember for that in between your haircuts, guys, and that will actually take you a long way. Don't do that with gel. It will look terrible. Please don't do that with gel. Something else I'd like to mention, something that Nurture does that's a little bit different than your average Alberta salon. I'm not going to use any names. That was a little hard. With our classic men's service for haircuts, we do include a consultation should you need one, your haircut. We do a shampoo and a wash with a scalp massage and a hot towel if you choose, or a cool towel. And then we bring you back, we style your hair, and we straight razor your neck. No extra charge. Some of the girls and I recently found out that a very big branded business charges extra for all these little things, and we just like men to be part of what Nurture is. We're a family-based business, and we're happy to give this to you guys at no extra charge. We also have a level program here at Nurture too. So for all of you guys who maybe you haven't had the best cut or you have very difficult hair to deal with, we offer a level program. So you can choose a stylist who is a little bit more certified, more experienced. I've got 14 years in the business, for example, and I've got apprentices with less than a year, and I've got people with 3 years. So we're all at different levels, different prices, and different levels of experience so that we can serve you better. I don't have anything else to talk to you about this evening, guys. However, don't think that we forget about you here at Nurture. We do have some news for February. For those of you who are guests of ours now, we have a reward program, so you would know this. However, we've noticed that guys can't use the rewards like the ladies can unless you're a massage guest of ours. So we're happy to say that starting February 1st, we are offering points at $20 redemption. So the kids can come in and dad can come in and they can actually get free haircuts after they reach the redemption level. Before it was at $40 and, well, like I said, unless you were having a massage, you weren't really in luck. So we're happy to offer that to guys starting in February. We just did up our Nurture News for the new year, and that was posted tonight. So you're the first people to know, so congratulations. And if you are looking for a new stylist, or if we're in the neighborhood and you haven't been in yet, do know that we do take walk-ins, and we'd be happy to serve you at Nurture. So I'm going to thank my husband for joining me this evening. We will post this so that anybody who's just joining, because I noticed there's a lot on right now. Thanks everybody for watching, that you can watch this once we're finished. So tomorrow night is Thursday. We have one more video live this week to finish, and then I'll be back next week for Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe, and that will be Wine and Beauty for the month of January. I hope everybody's learning something new, and I quite enjoy this. So thanks for joining us again this evening, guys. Bye from Craig.
See you later. Thanks for watching.
Good night, guys.